I watched over 200 viral YouTube shorts. Here's what I found. So to begin this challenge, I wanted to take a look at the top 50 most viewed YouTube shorts of all time. And the reason for this is I wanted to look at the shorts that are doing the best, right? Now, to understand how these shorts and why these shorts are doing so good, we have to look at how the algorithm itself works. The YouTube algorithm will look at two things to push out your YouTube short. Number one is swipe rate, right? If your swipe rate is not high enough, it's not even going to consider you, right? You're aiming to get something somewhere around 70 to 80%. That would be really good, right? But that's what you're aiming for. And then the next thing would be retention. Now, retention is divided up into two categories, AVD and APV, right? That'd be average view duration and average percentage view. On the screen, you can see a graph of a YouTube short. Basically, you're probably thinking this YouTube short has amazing views, right? Because it has 1,000 views, right? Well, I'm here to break it to you that that is actually very bad. And let me explain why. Basically, the way that the YouTube algorithm works is that there's a seed audience. Your video is going to get pushed out to a group of people that YouTube thinks will like your content. Now, if depending on how that group reacts, based on the stats that we mentioned before, it will push out your video to newer audience. The graph that you're seeing on the screen now is a successful graph that basically made it through the phase of the seed audience and then got pushed out to different audiences. So this is the list of the most viewed YouTube shorts of all time. Now, I'm just gonna look at the first one and we're gonna kind of look through it so you guys can see kind of what this entails. So here's the first one. Okay, so we have a pretty good hook.
Candles going out. Do I see javelins? Yes, I do. Wow, boys. Wow. Oh my word. This is insane. It's gone to a new level. Yellow. Is it yellow or red?
Okay.
Yellow's
So, you guys kind of get the gist of it, right? So it's a race, right? And the idea, the way that this works, right, and why it works is because it's instantly catching the viewer's attention. Something so extreme, right? Let's reset it. Boom. Something kind of crazy, extreme, kind of hooks your attention. It grabs your attention. You hear the audio visual cue that is the machine itself working, and then you see all these balloons and you're kind of entranced in this image, right? It's a really good hook. And the best thing about these racing videos is that everyone wants to stay until the end because they want to see who wins, right? So that plays right into our first swipe rate, right? People aren't going to swipe if they get hooked on so quick by something that's, catching their eyes or, catching their ears, right? And they're not going to leave the video because they want to see who wins this race, right? Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of these videos, but I just kind of wanted to break that one down, and I'll give you the rest of my results as I go on. So after watching those 50 YouTube shorts, I want to go through some notes that I took about these videos. The first thing I want to say is that the hooks on these videos are very, very, very good. They're able to grab your attention, whether it's through an audio cue, whether it's through something that's, extreme, something that's going on, or they're able to create a sense of emotion or a sense of anticipation before the main video even begins, right? In the first 5 seconds of the video, you already have a sense of what's going to happen at the end, which makes that ending a lot more satisfying. A lot of these videos are either skit videos or prank videos or just honestly satisfying things that people recorded, right? And it really surprised me that none of this content was informational. Literally all of this content was pure entertainment, no value in these videos at all. They're able to create a great sense of anticipation for what's to come next, and that's sort of what keeps viewers attached, right? So if that would be the one takeaway that I would take away, is that you have to keep your viewers attached from the very first minute with a good hook. Get a good hook that kind of pops out of the reel. It creates a pattern interrupt with all the scrolling that they're doing, right? Now, there's a lot of, challenges, races, competitions, and the reason for that is because if you have a competition, you want to see who wins, right? So you're going to stick around and watch that whole video just to see who gets to the finish line first, right? Whether it's a challenge, whether it's a competition, right? You just kind of want to see that result, so that's the reason that you're sticking around with that video, right? And a lot of these videos have extreme audio reliance. Now, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes, even if I am scrolling, I'll just have audio off, right? A lot of these videos heavily relied on audio, which is something that, surprised me, considering that a lot of people, they do scroll without audio. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and look at some talking head content and some podcast content that has been blowing up on YouTube Shorts. Now, these aren't the most viewed videos, right? But they are talking head content, just so you guys who are putting out talking head content can get some sort of advice and things that I see from the most viral videos. So let's get right into it. To show you guys what I learned, I want to just watch this YouTube short and point out little things that I think can help you grow and go viral on YouTube Shorts. Now, let's watch this video through so you guys can see. And first of all, just take a look at sort of the video itself.
Mr. Beast recently turned down a $1 billion offer for his YouTube channel. He said maybe if it was 10 or 20 billion, I would even consider it. Do you think that he made a bad call?
Let's do some basic math. His most viewed video is 293 million views. That's the $456,000 Squid Game Super Bowl commercial. You do 30 seconds. What are you paying? $5.2 million. And Super Bowl gets roughly 100 million views. He's got total 17 billion views. 17 billion views divided by 100 million, because that's what Super Bowl claims. So that's 170 times 5 million bucks. His one channel alone has generated a minimum of $850 million, and I'm calculating only one commercial. And then added to all the other channels that he has, I think he's right. 10 to 20 billion dollars is the right number.
Mr. Beast.
So, there's a couple things I want to point out. First thing I want to point out is look at what the hook is, right? The hook is Mr. Beast, right? If they bring up Mr. Beast, people are instantly going to watch this video. Now, I know you're probably thinking like, look, I don't want to make content about other celebrities, right? I want to make my own content, right? So there's a couple other ways that you can make some hooks. And another one that I noticed was a question hook, right? If you ask a question to your audience, it instantly engages them because they ask themselves that question. They're like, okay, well, am I doing this? Am I doing this in my daily life? Is this something that I should apply, right? And another type of hook is just calling out a certain group of people, right? Saying, if you're under 18, you need to learn this, right? Or whatever it is, right? Now, the next thing I want to point out with this video is notice how there's always something catching your attention, right? Look, well, let's replay it and I'll point it out as we go.
Beast
First thing is the Mr. Beast thing.
A $1 billion offer for his YouTube channel. He said maybe.
Look at the camera switch already. One camera switch.
If it was 10 or 20 billion, I would even consider it. Do you
Two
think
camera switches.
that he made a bad call?
Let's do some basic.
Three camera switches.
His most viewed video is 293 million.
And now we start getting into some PNGs, right? We see some images on the screen, right?
That's
We
the
have
$456,000 Squid Game Super Bowl
on the screen.
commercial. You do 30 seconds. What are you paying? $5.2 million. And Super Bowl gets roughly 100 million.
Camera changed again.
Views. He's got total 17 billion views. 17 billion
on the
views
screen.
divided by 100 million.
And you got the math
because
on
that's
the,
what
on the
Super
screen
Bowl.
now. Just notice the amount of things going on. Every 2 to 4 seconds, something is on the screen. Something's going on. And another thing that I really want to point out is notice the way he's talking. This is not all in one clip. This is so chopped up that you can't even, like, all of this, he's cutting out all of his likes, all of his so's, all of the words that he is putting in between to make this flow together. Now listen really closely and watch as the screen itself clips.
Claims. So that's 170 times 5 million bucks. His one
there, it cut again. You see that right there? It cut. And the reason for that is when you're making these short form videos, you want to compress as much of the video as you can into this tight interval, right? And the way that you're going to do that is by chopping out all the sections in which he's saying or so or like or something that is not valuable. You want to cut that out so you only have the part that adds value. Next thing I want to point out is the
Channel
subtitles.
alone
Look at
has
the different
generated-
colors with the subtitles. Every single one of these has a different color,
a
right?
minimum
This is
of
yellow, this is
$850 million,
green,
and I'm
this
calculating
is
only one
all white, this
commercial,
is
and then
yellow
added
again, right? It's a mix, right? It's not instantly. It's making you be attracted to the screen, right? Next thing, and the last thing I want to point out, is look at the amount of controversy that this causes, right? If I were to open up the comments, right, you'll see the amount of people that are getting mad at this video or having some sort of emotion towards it, right? He is saying something that's controversial, and people are reacting to it. If you can get a reaction out of someone, you will be a million times more successful, because they're, number one, they're gonna get engaged by this content, right? They're gonna drop a comment. They're gonna drop, something on the video that's gonna make it pop out, right? And they might watch it again to make sure that to make sure they heard it right, or whatever it is, right? If you get a reaction out of someone, you'll be more successful on YouTube Shorts. So those are just a couple things that I noticed. Now, for this video, I ended up watching over 200 YouTube Shorts. So I would appreciate it if you guys dropped a like and subscribed. That would mean a lot to me. If you guys like the content, please feel free to support. And thank you for watching.